All right, y'all. What's going on? Marcus Bell in the building. First one in, right? Let's see, man. Not much going on this weekend, right? As far as WMMA, I mean, this is big, right? This is a somewhat of a big event just for the UFC and France in general, right? Because we have the first UFC fight card in France this weekend. But unfortunately, to some of us, the flare's kind of gone down because one fighter is not fighting on this card. One flyweight that we all want to see. Manon is not on this card versus Chukagan. She's not on this card versus Jessica Andrade. She's not on this card, period. Right? So that is out. Other than that, we only got one fight. We only got one fight. Yeah, Mark, so we only have one fight, man. And it's the fight I got posted up here. Two of the bantamweights I got posted up here. Alan Perez and Stephanie Edgar. Rose fighting Jennifer Maya. Ooh, that's nice right there. Wow, she getting a major jump. That's not bad though. Moreau's got the experience, right? Okay, we're gonna have to add that to the list and talk about that in a minute. Okay. But yeah, tonight, man, I just want to talk some bantamweights. Since we don't have a great deal going on in WMMA the past couple weekends, right? What we just had the PAWFC card, which I'm gonna drop a video talking about tomorrow, and we have Stephanie Edgar and Alan Perez. That's it. So I said, today I'm gonna just talk about some upcoming fights, and I want to talk about the bantamweight division, like bantamweight division, not just necessarily UFC, but just the bantamweights we got on the rise. Because I know we have low expectations for bantamweight right now, but if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, we got a nice selection that I think is going to be eventually in the mix, right? But we keep on pushing, we gonna have something, right? BJ, what's going on? He said I was gonna go live, but I'm up. Nah, man. I ain't gonna be on. I ain't gonna be on till 8:30 tonight because I'm hungry. You know, all I'm gonna talk about tonight is the bandweight event. And you gonna be on at 9, man. You got an hour and a half, bro. I ain't gonna be on here no 2 hours tonight. So don't push it back. Don't try to get out of going live tonight, man. You gonna still go live tonight. I ain't gonna be on here until like 8:30 because I got something cooking too. So yeah, I got something cooking. So hey, I ain't gonna push it tonight. But yeah, so yeah, man, yeah. Okay, look, if I do get off of here by 8:30, uh, I'm gonna say you owe me like $5 or something. You gotta cash at me $20 now if I get off here by 8:30. All right, but seriously though, yeah, the bantamweight division, man, and the UFC ain't really like popping right now. I mean, every now and then we get a good fight, but I think eventually it's going to come back. It might take some time. It might take a little time, but we're going to get there. That's why I said some of these fighters on this list here at the bottom, I think they'll liven it up. Stephanie Edgar, not necessarily. The question's, still out. I just put her up here because, she's taking on Alan Perez. But some of these fighters that haven't been signed and just got newly signed, I think, they have some skills and some attributes to add to the division, man. I think they do. So let's look at the ones that's fighting this Saturday, real quick. Let's look at the new head that's fighting this Saturday, Alan Perez. It's funny they signed her like the night before I was just watching one of her fights. Like I was watching a couple of her fights on YouTube. She fights for Samurai Fight House a lot. And the next day, I think y'all said somebody told me, or I just saw it that she had been signed. And I was like, oh, okay, Alan Perez. I just watched her. Eileen Perez, however you pronounce it. I was like, okay, you just signed her. But yeah, if you're not familiar with her, she's a young fighter, 27, on to come up, 7-1. Fights out of Samurai Fight House. That's where a lot of her fights taking place. I think only had like one loss on the resume, and that was like just, I think, an illegal knee. It says here. So she's offering somewhat of an exciting style. She's got a few finishes on her resume. She's got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stoppages, submissions. She's got some skills, so we'll see how far she can go as far as like developing. But Stephanie Edgar, that's probably the best opponent for her. Let me see. To test where she's at right now, just to really test her skills. Yeah, BJ Penne Cans, and that's hey, I'm still a fan of Penne. That's my girl right there. That's still my girl. But hold on, let's see. Alina Landsberg, I think she still offers somewhat of a, she still offers some tests. Her clinch fighting, her clinch style still seems to give some women trouble. I mean, she beat Macy Chase on, right? I didn't see that coming. Could have had more to do with the weight with Macy, but, she won that fight. But yeah, just looking at Alan Perez a little bit, she's a gritty fighter. She likes to get in there, pumps her jab out. Got some sharp hands. Just looking at some of her early stuff, Samurai Fight House, it's not LFA, it's still lower level. Not even, I won't even say it's Invicta really, because at least Invicta has some decent bantamweight. So I can't even say, she's fought somebody like on a level of Serena De Jesus. You know what I mean? So we'll see what she can do with Edgar. We'll see if she can handle Edgar's judo. Let's see if she can handle her level of ground game. I mean, she be getting takedowns. I'm looking at some of her fights now as we speak. I mean, y'all can look at it too if you want. It's on YouTube. Most of her fights are, she's got a very hard ground and pound style, a very controlling. She's strong. So we'll see what she can add to the division, first by seeing if she can get by Stephanie Edgar. Oh, we're about to check it. So he said, I don't know why people are so high on Edgar. She's the ground special. Got tapped by MBS. I'm rolling Perez for the upset. Yeah, really, it could go either way to me. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not even like Edgar's awful or anything like that, or Perez is like really proven. So I think off of offense on the feet, Alan Perez has a better chance if she keeps it standing because she does commit more to her hands from what I've seen compared to Stephanie Edgar. I think her hand game looks a lot sharper. Gets on the ground, Perez lets her hands go. She's got some good ground and pound. Don't matter who it is, just looking at some of her fights, she'll go in there and work you. All right. With Alan Perez, Eileen, we're going to call her Perez. Perez, she has potential though, to add some life to this division. If she can keep it going, she improves. She has a look. She likes to dance. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She like to go out here and pop it after her fights. That might be something, these casual fans want to see out here. She be out here doing splits. Like this fight right here. Look, she just finished this fight. She twirling, twerking, popping her hips. And now she's about to drop it and do a split. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, she's got a little something the UFC can. I think that's what the UFC might have saw. The UFC might have saw that and they said, okay, we got to sign this girl. So Dana White said, this is what we're going to sign her off of. I mean, no, she has a decent resume, at 7-1, but they want a specific look too. They want some certain looks here. So they're going to put Perez in here with that. So she could make something of herself in this bantamweight division if she continues to pop it and score knockouts and score beatings. How do I think she'll do against Stephanie Egger? I think she can win the fight. Like I said, her hands are decent. Her ground and pound is pretty vicious. The only thing is you just can't get caught in a judo toss. But if your jiu-jitsu is good, you can get the back of Egger and work it, and get her out of there. Just hope, though, Egger don't try to pull off a little, slickness again and act like she ain't get tapped. So, yeah, I think Eileen Perez, early look, I'm going to go with her. And I think, she is a good addition to this division. So, yeah, we'll see, man. Just polish some things up. Let me see this one fight. Yeah, she is vicious. Like, if you go back and look at some of her ground and pound, no love taps from her. She's using elbows. She's dropping bombs. Look at her cornerman in the background. They so happy she's winning that the other dude is just dancing. I think he's dancing. Yeah, she stays all over her opponents too. She got a little bit of weight to it too, a little thickness too. So that's good. Yeah, Alan Perez, 5. Let me see how many has she won in a row now. 5 in a row in the early part of her career. Then she had 1 loss. Back on a 2-win streak, taking on Stephanie Egger. Got to make something of it though. She got to make something of it. She wants this if we want this bantamweight division to liven up. All right. Who else though? We got some other fighters here. Some recently signed fighters too. Some hopefuls. Haley Cowan. Style wise, I'm not really like a big fan of Haley Cowan's style, but Dana White believes that she has the it factor, right? He believes that she has the it factor going on here. I know what the it factor is with him. He's talking more look. He's talking look, but he means maybe the grittiness that she gets in there and wants to fight. Like I said, her jiu-jitsu still a little questionable. Even her striking. But when she's in there clinching and dirty boxing, fighting on the inside, elbows, knees, she puts on some excitement there. So he's looking at that, but he's also looking at the blonde hair, the look, all of that. So he needs someone that's going to win over or keep his demographic in their seats, right? Got to have somebody with the Holly Holm look. That's just a fact, right? So Haley Cowan has that going for her. But she's physically strong. Like I said, her main thing is the clinch. She has a good clinch game. She's athletic. She still can develop. Only 30 years old. So we'll see what comes of her. Her last fight out was that Contender Series fight. It was a close one. Before that, she scored a submission win in Invicta FC. Before that, she was fighting for LFA the majority of her career. You know, and if you go back and look at her losses, ground game could be an issue for her moving forward into the UFC. That might be the downside though. Like first win or first professional fight, first loss was against Victoria Leonardo. She got submitted by Victoria Leonardo. I know that was like 4 years ago, but still, you know. Kelly Clayton, I remember that fight. She got put in the guillotine. It was almost like she stepped right into it and got submitted. So yeah, sometimes she can be a little reckless when she's going in there to clinch up. You know, somebody with a basic submission game can get her in a position and submit her. But yeah, that's questionable, man. Her first loss to Victoria Leonardo, huh? But hey, like I said, you can't really count out Victoria Leonardo in these fights. I mean, she never stops trying. That's why she beat Mandy Bowen, right? You know, she never stops trying. So hey, got to give her that. But Haley Cowan, growing, strong, I think, you know, durable. But when you start matching her up with even the girls with clinch game like Lena Landsberg, Sarah McMahon, you know, a fellow physically strong wrestler, those girls like that will give her work. And those are going to be real tests for her. And even Jessica Rose Clark. You know, Jessica Rose Clark, if she continues to fight, has decent hands, good chin, fighters like that could give them trouble. So if they get by somebody like that, get into the top 15, give this division some more light. Right? Then you got Chelsea Chandler. October 1st, Chelsea Chandler is taking on Stoyarenko. Stoyarenko's a little pit bull, man. Stoyarenko's got some. Let me pull her resume up here. Stoyarenko's got some game now. You know, she said she's going to turn it up now. Now that you know, she went back into that submission mode. You know, she says she's going after it now. You know, she ain't gonna leave it into the hands of the judges. She gonna put that work in and look to break some arms. I mean, last fight out for Stoyarenko, you know, she popped that arm, boy, Jessica Rose Clark. So early on, just looking at this matchup, Chelsea Chandler could have her hands full here, especially if it goes to the ground. But stand up, this is Chelsea's game, I think. You know, watching her improve her boxing, looking at her training and her stance and just how she takes her approach to how she throws her left hand. You know, I think that, you know, she could go in there and make a statement win over Stoyarenko. You know, Butcher style. I mean, she could go in there and just piece her up. She's got that level of a striking IQ, I think, that could almost be one-sided if she chooses to stand. You know, I think her boxing is sharp. You know, very sharp left hand thrown from Chelsea Chandler. So Stoyarenko, lack of defense, can be wide open for those shots. So early prediction there for October 1st. I definitely say there's going to be blood in that fight. You know, it might be Stoyarenko's blood. But they need fighters like Chelsea as well. You know, Chelsea, she talks big game, backs it up, willing to take on anybody, exciting style. So you're getting a different look from each of these fighters, you know, that could eventually be part of the evolution of the bantamweight division as everybody that we know now starts to retire. You know, as these older fighters start to retire, you have fighters like Chelsea coming in, improving, getting better. You know, looks to finish. She's 4-1 right now. Let me see how many finishes. She got a rear naked choke, knockout, a couple of decisions. You know, so she can do anything. You know, she has the gas tank to go the 3 rounds. Don't matter. Stoyarenko, that was her first win in the UFC, wasn't it? Against Jessica Rose Clark. So you gotta watch out for him. He's hungry. She broke that 3-fight losing streak by breaking by Jessica Rose Clark's arm. You got to be careful. She's gonna be wanting to go to the ground and take advantage. So Chandler, I think, has a better feet. Keep it standing, make a statement, and yeah, I think you'll be looking at a potential top 15. Just got to keep on working like she's doing, and yeah, you'll probably see her rise up within a couple of years or so. Um, Let me see. Chelsea can float to 145 too. Yeah, that's where I thought she was gonna be at. Like you see her now, she's training hard. I've asked her before. Would she ever go back down? And she didn't think so. She said no. But seeing as the UFC offers that contract, even against a fellow featherweight like Leah Letson, she took it, right? So just being real strict with the diet, training hard, keeping that weight close. That's all she can do, right? She would have preferred featherweight, though, she said, which I think was a better weight because that's where she showed power, in that strength. But we'll see how she looks here at 135, man. Lee just said, Mandy ain't pulling the trigger. Dang, man, what happened, man? I thought you was riding with Mandy Bone, man. You disappointed now? I mean, she came out looking Bellator. Mandy Bone was coming out looking like a threat, kind of sharp, but Lipsky changed that up, man. Lipsky said, nope. All right, y'all got about like 11 of y'all in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to 10 likes at least. I know we don't have too many big fights going on this weekend, but let's talk about some bantamweights here. Okay, so another bantamweight that could eventually get signed that I think adds good technique and definitely is going to add some the much needed technical side is Tanisha Tennant. I like that type of style too, like watching fighters that like to go after it, but I like fighters that can bring, technique as well. I think maybe, she could turn it up just a little bit when it comes down to, being more dominant, even if you do take it to the cards, like even fighters, you see like fighters like Valentina, they can be very technical, but you still want to impose that dominance to make even Dana White say, hey, I need to sign somebody like this, somebody that can go in there and dominate with their skills and take their opponent apart, right? But I think it can be doable. Some people think she don't have the crowd-pleasing style. Well, Valentina doesn't always get everybody in an uproar. You hear people booing her fight sometimes. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a matter of taste. Like you still need different type of fighters in the division because that's the only way you're going to get somebody that can be dominant or make fighters want to improve. Like if everybody fights at a low level of just toe-to-toe action, nobody's ever going to improve. You're never going to see the belt go to just one champion. It's always going to jump around. Every now and then you do need, I won't say every now and then, but you do need a good balance of fighters that use IQ. I think Tanisha is working towards that, of just being that type of technical fighter. I know her last fight, styles make fights, against Olga Rubin. That was Olga Rubin's naturally a featherweight, big fighter. Wasn't like the most impressive showing to the casual fans. But if you look at what she was doing, she was touching, she was landing against this big, durable fighter and landing some good body shots. Of course, she couldn't get the finish in that fight, but still, But the one thing I'll say, Tanisha could add to her game is the physical strength, always improving the takedown defense. just that level of Joanna strength and takedown defense. If you want to be a stand-up fighter, you just have to have that type of strength to keep these fighters off you and keep your game where you want it to be, which is striking. I think she has a very good jab, good combinations when she lets her hands go. So yeah, you add her in there, that's definitely a different look that you want in a division. But there's some tough fighters out there though. You got to be strong in this bantamweight division. I keep thinking of like the Sarah McMahons, the even the Carol Roses, Yana Kotoskaya, Caitlin Vieira, even Myra Buena Silva. She's at bantamweight now. These physically strong grapplers can be trouble for some fighters that are just based in stand up, right? So Tanisha, I want to see her get a little bit more gritty, stronger in there, control some of these girls, get a couple more bantamweight fights in Invicta FC, and I think eventually she'll get signed. A rematch with Serena De Jesus is a good fight. That'll test her out again against a big, physically strong fighter in Invicta FC. So yeah, we'll see, man. BJ said Joe Jua showed something. When? I didn't see her. Oh, you mean like her first fight? Yeah, she showed something in her first fight. That's about it, right? Joe Jua showed something one time. At least she showed it one time, right? Did she only get one victory in the UFC? Now that you bring Joe Jua up, right? Yeah, she's only had one victory. It was at Belbita, right? Lost her first fight, but yes, she won against Belbita. Yes, she was 1-4, so she wasn't too far off. She wasn't too far off from Mandy Bone. I mean, yeah, she got one victory, but still, that sucks. Looking at bantamweight right now, before I go on, I just want to look at the UFC rankings. Like, how many fighters do you think in the bantamweight division are going to retire, like, within the next 2-3 years? Looking off the rankings. Hold on. I'll pull them up here. UFC rankings. So y'all can look at it. Brand. Wait a minute now. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. Let's go into that. Okay, here it is. Looking at this bantamweight roster here, like, how many fighters are going to stick around now, do you think? Because first off, you have Norma Dumont, who's not even a bantamweight. She's just like a placeholder. She's got a placeholder, I guess, in case she wants to come back and fight for a couple of times at bantamweight, right? Then you have Julia Avila, who's on a maternity leave right now. Carol Rosa, of course, she'll be around. She's new to the division. She's still got a lot to offer. Coming off that loss to Sarah McMahon, but she can still stick around. But then you have Lena Landsberg, 40. She's 40 years old, so she might be gone within another year or so. Might fight out her contract. Misha Tate, she's still questionable at number 11. Don't even know if she'll ever fight for the belt again here, even at bantamweight. So that's another one you might see out pretty soon, especially if she gets another L on her resume. Macy Chiasson, she'll be here for a while. I think, depending on the opportunities again at featherweight, I mean, if that ever comes up, but she's kind of been one of those featherweights that just chooses to stick around at bantamweight, though. She she does it though. She kills herself to make the weight, so she'll be here number 10. So she's still one that'll be here. Penny Kienzen at number 9. How old is Penny anyway? Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Penny is only 30. Okay, yeah, she's only 30. So yeah, she's still kind of prime in her game. Okay, so Penny will be here. Sarah McMahon will probably be out pretty soon. Aspen Ladd is still here. Yana's gonna make her return soon, right? Rocky might be gone. Holly Holm will be gone. So really, within the next 2 years, you'll probably see Holly Holm retire. Maybe Nunes. Let's see, Nunes, Holm, Pennington, McMahon, and Lena Landsberg, right? I don't know. Possibly Julia Avila might be one. Julia Avila, she might be one too. I know she's on a break, but you never know, right? So you'll probably be losing like 4 or 5 bantamweights within the next year or so. We'll see, man. That's what I'm just saying. Like, they really do need to pick it up as far as bringing in some more experience and some more excitement. Fighters with character, fighters that want to fight, talk some of that trash, and go in there and want to get that smoke, man. You know what I mean? That's what they really need right now. And you got a fighter like Chelsea. That's a good addition. Like I said, for the casual fans, you have Haley Cowan. That'll help. But you still need some skilled fighters like Tanisha to go in there. All right. But eventually you might see a fighter like Melissa Croden too. I had to bring her up again because, I think she's a promising fighter at 31. Getting a couple more victories, 3 or 4 more fights outside of the UFC. I think they'll be calling her up soon. Now that she won a belt, even on a lower organization, they could be definitely looking to get her. They could be looking to sign her. I think Melissa Croden offers a lot, like, just technically as well. Like, she brings some excitement to her style. When she's in there, she is. I mean, I've talked about this already. I mean, just her striking style. I know I'm a fan of strikers, but I got to give credit where credit is due, man. She knows how to pick her strikes, like her kicks, her punches. Nothing predictable about her, even on this low level. So I think if more and more she grows, she'll be a threat if they ever decide to get her in there. I don't even think they'll do a contender. They won't make her. I don't even think they'll make her do like a contender series fight, really. I think they'll probably try to just sign her right off top. And I think she would be one to deserve it. I think Tanisha was one that deserved it, but I think they might do that with Melissa Croden. As long as she keeps looking good, maybe goes in Invicta and bags some wins, they might go ahead and do that. Sign her next. And like I said, that'll be a good addition. Good technical style, excitement, getting a solid finish in a title fight. Just keep that run going and nurture that style, man. So yeah, bantamweight, we got a long way to go in the UFC. It was bound to happen though. The division was thriving for a while. A lot of these girls are going to stick around because of heart and money. So you're going to have to kind of just stick around and tough it out with them. Even though I know we are tired of seeing some of the same fights. Bantamweights, they've been down to fighting once a year now, really. Because of age, injury, and a lot of matchups already being made before. So we probably won't, be seeing like a big transition to the division for another 3 years, really. You won't see a lot of these girls in the top 15, like I said, leave for the next 2 or 3 years. That's why they've been slowly putting in like Myra Buena Silva, maybe even Priscilla Cachoeira. Even I don't know how far she can go. They've just been putting together those bantamweight fights that have some type of excitement level to them, right? But yeah, we'll see, man. So, real quick before I wrap this one up, because I'm gonna be done about 8:30. Let's talk about some of these strawweight fights here, real quick. Let's talk about this Tabitha Ricci and Jessica Penne fight here. All right. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So, you know what? I was a little disappointed that the Velismus fight wasn't going to happen. But I said, but you know what? This is what Ricci needs. She needs this type of fight to test out her skills and see how good her ground game is. Because this is a fight where Ricci is going to have to get a takedown and keep control. Let's have it to Ricci. A little while back, I thought, she was promising, maybe get a few more fights in LFA. But, they jumped the gun and signed her. And now she's bagged 2 wins, against Maria Oliveira, Poliana Viana. But even though Jessica Penne is a little older, she still brings somewhat of a threat because that's a big skill gap in between those fighters, Viana and Oliveira. Then when you look at Penne has some good names on her resume. 14-6. Yeah, she's pushing 39, pushing 40. But she's fought different types of styles. And I don't know if Ricci offers something different to a Penne fight. I don't know if she offers that same type of grit like Lupi did. Even though they gave the victory to Penne, I thought Lupi won that fight. Right? So Ricci is going to have to go in here, close distance, and get this thing to the ground, man. Like she's 5'1", 62-inch reach. And Penne, about 4 inches taller. Dang, 67-inch reach. How long is her reach, I say? Yeah, about 5 inches shorter. Yeah, 5 inches shorter and 5 inches short in the reach. Yeah, I think Penne, man, she's gonna have. She could make this fight easy. Using her striking. She was able to touch up Emily Ducote, right? She was able to touch up a good, solid striker like Emily Ducote. So if Penne keeps this thing standing, uses that reach, this could be her fight. This could be her fight where she just uses her striking and keeps it moving. Ricci's going to have to really go after it. So we got to see Ricci use everything, her physical strength, her wrestling, her ability to go in there and try to rough a fighter like Penne up. So it's more of a test for her. I know some people think she can walk through Penne just because of the age, but hey, you never know. I mean, we saw what happened with Lupi and Angela Hill. I'm not counting some of these veterans out right now. I saw what happened with Sarah McMahon and Joe Rosa. No, I'm not counting these fighters out like that yet. Early look, I would like for Ricci to win. Definitely, yeah. I think she's good for the division, So I like to see her go in there and be dominant and move forward. And I like to see some new blood in that top 15, definitely, So this is kind of a step up for her in the Velismus fight, if you think about it. She's taking on a veteran. But that fight, style-wise, that would have been fun, her and Velismus, man. But like I said, Velismus is out because of personal reasons, so she won't be back till December. because I think she said on social media, it's personal reasons that she's not going to voice, but I think a lot of people know what it might be. So, but here's another fight. We have Angela Hill and Emily Ducote. This fight interests me, man, because we have two solid stand-up fighters. Angela Hill making some solid improvements in her game, looking stronger, letting her hands go more. I know that was only in the previous fight, but she was looking confident there, especially against a tough fighter like Loopy. I couldn't believe it. I think everybody picked Loopy just because they get so used to Angela Hill coming up short. But Angela Hill showed up and showed out, and she could do the same thing here, man, in this Emily Ducote fight. That's why I'm just kind of curious, man. Like, can Emily Ducote go in there and outstrike Angela Hill? Or if not, could she go to the ground with Angela Hill at this point? Because Angela Hill has been working on her scramble game and her physical strength. Like, it's just been getting up there. She's been getting stronger. She's just getting to the point where I think mentally, when you go back and look at a lot of your fights as a fighter, I think for Angela Hill, she's probably getting to that point where she's like, you know what, I can't keep doing this. She's saying there's got to be some improvements here. I got to do better. And I think that's what amped her up in the Loopy fight. Some people want to make excuses for Loopy. No, I'm not. I picked Loopy, but she lost fair and square. I don't think anything was wrong with it. She just couldn't get by the jab, and she couldn't get by the combinations. The volume was too much for her. She couldn't get Angela Hill down. She tried a few times. Hell, Angela Hill took her down. So that shows you the surprise element that Angela Hill's adding to her game. So that's a question to ask in this fight. Like, if Emily Ducote can't win the striking battle, will she be able to take Angela Hill down and keep her down and win that way? I don't know. Like, I can see style-wise Emily Ducote beating some other strawweights just because how they match up. But when you put this type of striker in there, like when Amanda Lemos fought Angela Hill, it makes it a tough call now. It makes it a tough call because she just knows how to take away power, and she knows how to measure range well, better than some of these, fighters that are just coming in. So Angela Hill, could very well outwork Emily Ducote. Like, I think Emily Ducote has a bit of a power edge, and she's a little bit more precise, and she sits down on her shots. But you can't hit what you can't catch, right? Angela Hill's feints could give her problems, but Ducote has good timing. She's got really good timing, and she has a nice leg kick too. I mean, calf kick is on point. Very good calf kick, solid right hand. But I'm just curious to see if she could really catch somebody like Angela Hill though, like that. I mean, if she can walk Angela Hill down and move her head a little bit more, because sometimes, head stays on the line, maybe she could push it into her favor. But Angela Hill's very durable, man. See, there's a lot of butts in this one. That's why it's like tighter than you think. Like, I was thinking 50-50, but I had to maybe say 60-40. Even though I want to see Emily Ducote push up these rankings, some new blood, I'm just being a realist, man. Just being a realist here. Lolita said she had picked Godinez. Yeah, I did too. And yeah, I picked Lemos. I still think Lemos won that fight. Though. Yeah, Hill against this level of fighters, I can't pick against. It's hard to pick against him. I think Emily Ducote has a lot to offer. Good fighter, and like I said, she can beat some of these other strawweights, but when you match up this particular style, ooh, it's a rough one. It's a rough one, man. Angela Hill's not a pretty style for anybody. So, yeah, I think I'll say right now I'm 60-40 for Angela Hill in that one. Penne Ricci, man, I'm leaning a little bit towards Penne, actually. Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. I mean, if Ricci can do what Lupe Benitez did, maybe she could win the fight, but can she close that distance with that height and reach? Can she close that distance? Maybe, probably. She should be able to. Because she is strong. She is strong. But that's one where it's like, I don't know, man. School's in session right now. School is in session for these fighters. And the thing is, if Ricci loses, I'll kind of understand that, that'll just kind of validate what I've been saying, that, the jump might have been too early. Because they grabbed her right when she was 5-0 to fight Manon, which I thought was crazy, man. Like, Ricci, I'm just saying, I'm one of them people or fans that like to see a fighter pushed right, and I like to see him grow. So when I saw Ricci at 5-0, I was like, oh man, if they just push her right, nurture her style right, get her like 9-0 or 8-0 or 9-0, eventually she'd be in the UFC. But when they grabbed her and put her in there with Manon, I was like, oh snap, this girl is gonna get slaughtered. And she did for the most part. But she bounced back with a couple of wins against Viana and Oliveira. But, that's that level of a fighter. Now she's taking a big jump against Penne. So, like I said, I hope she wins it. But if she loses, that'll just tell you what I've been saying. Premature signing could be the cause. Okay. But yeah, I am going to wrap it up, man. So, BJ, I'll be off here actually before 8:30. So, yeah, that was all I really wanted to talk about tonight. Like I said, we don't have any big fights going down. Nothing major. So, it was just kind of a chill discussion this time for me. And I am going to wrap it up here because like I said, got some food here I want to eat. Cooking it up. But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. If you missed the live, go back and listen to it. And I'm going to close this stuff out. But yeah, my official pick for this fight, I'm going to go with Aline Perez. This girl's vicious. She likes to go in there and close the show. So I hope Aline Perez can make a statement, man. But that is the only fight, right? Let me see. As far as the WMMA fights, I'm going to go with Cyril Gahn and Robert Whittaker as well. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to go with Aline Perez. Any other picks? Yeah, Robert Whittaker, Cyril Gahn. And that's it, yeah. Too bad there's no Manon. No Manon versus Andrade Chikagin. Got to wait another month, y'all. So, that's another reason I'm kind of disappointed about this weekend. But that's just how it goes, right? Somebody always pulls out of a fight. But yeah, I told you, BJ, you owe me $20. I told you I'd be off here by 8:30. I'm actually off there before 8:30. But I am out, y'all. Combo Breaker 99. Subscribe. Peace.